Within the state of Georgia in 2016, there were 1,554 deaths. Of those deaths and fatalities, there were 282 that were of pedestrians. Georgia has experienced an increase of pedestrian fatalities over the past few years. There was a state analysis done that ranked the top 5 counties, and this may not be in the exact ranking order, but however, Fulton, DeKalb, Cobb, Chatham, and Gwinnett were ranked as the top 5 from the analysis standpoint of 2011 through 2015. My topic here is to persuade more people to get involved with pedestrian safety and utilizing the crosswalk correctly. You must know that the 3 points are importance of pedestrian safety, visibility, and the responsibility of the pedestrian and the motorist on the roadway. For the importance of pedestrian safety, at some point, it's a way of life. When you get out of your car, you become a pedestrian. At any point that you have to walk during the day, you are becoming that pedestrian. And so it's important for you to know the do's and don'ts, what to do, what not to do, what to wear, what not to wear, how to be more cautious, how to correctly cross in the crosswalk, how to utilize the infrastructure. In doing that, you also want to make an attempt to save lives, if not your own, someone else. And there are plenty ways to save lives as far as pedestrian safety through education, enforcement, and other opportunities that may appear. For my particular position, I work for the Governor's Office of Highway Safety in the state of Georgia. And so my main focus is to ensure that education is given, enforcement is given on pedestrian safety, as well as pedestrian safety creates a healthy way of life. Walking is always a plus when it comes to exercising. Walking is actually better than running. However, if you do between 50 to 77 minutes 3 times a week, you're in good shape. Next, we want to touch on visibility. Visibility is important because you always want to make sure as a pedestrian you are wearing the correct clothing or you can be seen by the motorist that's on the roadway. The importance is to always have yourself visible or in a visible spot when crossing or when not crossing or about to cross. The proper visibility to wear would be reflective items. It could be a reflective jacket, a reflective vest, a reflective belt, a reflective armband, something reflective where it's either highlighter yellow, highlighter orange, something that can make you stand out so that that driver sees that you are walking across the walkway or that you are in plain sight and they know that you are a pedestrian on the side of the walkway. Next, have a peer-to-peer conversation. And having a peer-to-peer conversation influence your friends, your family, people you may work with, coworkers, colleagues, that it's important to be seen on the road, and not only that, to follow the rules of the road as a pedestrian, because you also want to make sure that you're safe as well as the motorist knows that you're there and you know that they're there as well. Thirdly, I want to touch on responsibilities of the pedestrian and the motorist. It's important for both the pedestrian and the motorist to know their responsibilities and their roles on the roadway. As a pedestrian, I can't cross the road if a car is coming because I will be out of the right of way. I would then, as a pedestrian, have to yield to the motorist driving. But if I was already in the crosswalk midway going to the next side, the motorist would have to yield to me, verbatim the law. So, as a pedestrian, you want to make sure not only are you visible, but you want to make sure that you're crossing in the crosswalk as well properly as you know how. The best way to do that is to look at the signals, get to know the infrastructure that comes with pedestrian safety and utilizing the crosswalk. Once you know what those signals and in that infrastructure means, it's easier for you to use that crosswalk. I know a lot of times there are let's say, for instance, MARTA has a stop that may be between 2 crosswalks, and those crosswalks may be 800 to 1,000 feet apart. If that's the case, make it upon yourself to go down to the crosswalk to cross over. It's so easy to cross over in the middle of the road, but it's so easy that that may one time become a fatality. And our mission is to always create zero fatalities on the roadways in the state of Georgia. And I can assume that there's the same method in any other state that's keeping the residents safe as pedestrians. So, as a pedestrian, there are contributing factors that factor in to those fatalities. The top three are failure to yield, the right of way, improper crosswalk utilization, as well as visibility. And we've touched on those in the top of this conversation. So, with that being said, learn how to keep each other safe. Again, have that peer-to-peer conversation. If you're walking down the street and you're with a friend and that friend is trying to cross outside of a crosswalk, make mention to say, hey, no, this is the wrong way to go, and let's go down to the crosswalk and cross over. And I know a lot of people do not feel that this is an important topic, but it really is. For me, it's definitely important topic because I see these numbers come across my desk each and every day. So in order to keep others safe and keep myself safe, I have to be that example for my audience. And so with that being said, just keep in mind that using a crosswalk will save lives as well as being visible. In order to do that, you definitely need to know your rules and your regulations as a pedestrian as well as a resident in the state of Georgia. Thank you.